So, you go up here. Blocked with ice. Oh, okay, you don't actually get a scene there in this version. Yeah, you can get one. I'm pretty sure in the DS version about asking Rydia if she knows what to do, kind of making assumptions about mages know how to cast fire, right? And she's not too keen about that. I know when the same thing plays later when you have Rosa. And this dungeon in a way easier and a way harder. Because
there's like 1,000% less tiny mages, which is good.
Yeah. I think that on the whole, the dungeon is probably a little bit easier, taking advantage of the fact that Edward is a lot worse than Fella.
Right.
And because they don't have to worry about rationing the 90 MP, it's a lot. They can afford to make it longer, which is the trade-off. So I think
yeah, they don't have to worry about rationing the 90 MP, but just having you not being able to do very much with them.
Right. There is a save point about 2/3 through, but you still have to be careful getting there. I think I'm gonna try using Sing with Edward because nobody ever does, and see what kind of stuff you can do.
Well,
there's a great way to get things started.
We're off to a roaring start, I see.
Quadef points out Edward is more fragile than a preteen girl. Yeah, exactly. It's like even at the same level, I think he'll have less HP than she does.
Yeah, he is pretty darn effeminate in this one.
There is a one version of Final Fantasy IV most people don't talk about that includes the After Years packaged in. They go through a lot of work to make Edward. You make Edward a lot tougher. Like he's the first person to get any points on the Maenad, and he has this thing where his secretary is kind of cool and all this stuff. And it just feels like overcorrecting. Right. Try to keep him in the niche he was in, while at the same time...
Oh, keep singing.
Keep singing. Yeah, that's true. Let's keep singing. It's like he can contribute anything here. And I kind of like I kind of like Edward in After Years, but it's...
That is a good point. Vince asks if Effeminate is a good euphemism for weak when a girl is tougher than him.
Yeah, that one reminds me of... I don't remember where I read it at, but it was in the context of Hyrule Warriors. And apparently Ganon has a taunt where something like you fight like a girl, but it's actually a positive taunt. You're like, well, how does that make sense? It's like, oh wait, Gerudo. The warriors are women, right? Yeah, hey, well, that's actually kind of a neat touch.
Yeah, I agree with what Rydia is just really tough for a preteen girl. I mean, she is a caller and all that other stuff. Right. She is not a representative sample, perhaps. Man, Rosa is pretty tough too.
Yeah,
consider definitely tougher than Edward. So
that is Sleep, right?
I think it would help a lot if you could actually identify which ones are affected by which status.
Ooh, so we're going to use lightning on these guys.
Right.
Yeah, having some kind of indicator on enemies would help out quite a bit.
Wait a minute. I just had a thought. The jellies were red, right?
Yes.
And these are yellow?
Mm-hmm.
Are they color-coded?
That could be. Yeah, I think the blue ones are with the ice, too. I don't know if you mentioned it.
I'm just saying. It's something I noticed.
Yeah. I think you're probably right.
Creme de la creme.
I could go for some yogurt right about now. What do you think?
That's a lie. You hate yogurt.
True. I think I've discussed fitness and stuff here before, and I've tried to start taking Greek yogurt, a good source of protein and everything. But all this stuff is just so sour. Can't take it. So I mix it in with the protein shakes and chocolate milk and chocolate syrup and override it, but...
It's funny because I tried my first tub of organic yogurt, and it was as bad for me as regular yogurt was for Wayne.
Right.
Like, it was really, really, really sour. It was like, I understand, some people... Did you actually get the chocolate yogurt?
No, I forgot to get that one. Basically, I wanted to get that one first, and then probably been faster to get that one.
Yeah, overall, it's just not very good.
Right.
And Ben wishes he liked yogurt like the women in commercials do.
You'll play. Or like the...
John Doe says, hear him out. We're hearing you out, John.
The real John Doe has the floor. What if you went inside the television during the rain? As Persona 4 has revealed to us, what that means, what happens is that you run into monsters that you don't normally see when you're there during dry periods, and those monsters tend to be immune to physical. So be really careful when you take your golf club with you. I think it's the first time this has happened. We got Mac attacked
by Weepers.
Yeah, it's a kind of weird class of female enemy here. It's supposed to be like banshees or something.
I would have just had them attack.
That's true.
Because if anyone should be doing the changing, it's probably Emily.
Right. Oh, yay!
Did they actually cast anything?
I don't think so. They tried to analyze your weakness.
John Doe claims to eat at least one whole cup of Greek yogurt, 0% fat, no flavor a day, and says it's great. That is seriously a Pixar didn't happen kind of thing for me. It's like, I can handle a lot of Greek yogurt and whatnot, but no flavor. That's just, I don't know.
What's funny is that while I was looking up I'm not interested in bodybuilding, but I still look at some of the stuff or tips on because in my case, I used to injure myself all the time. So I get for tips on healing and stuff like that. And a big part of that, of course, is keeping up on your protein and everything. And people were mentioning that when it's like, yeah, I want to do Greek yogurt, but I just can't handle the flavor of it. And then basically the response was, get good. you just can't get away from it.
Right. It's like grow up. It builds character.
Right. If you were serious, bro, you would make yourself like it. It doesn't work that way.
You know what else tastes bad? Fat, especially when you're chewing it. Also, don't believe Wayne when he says he's not interested in bodybuilding. Like, his arms are about twice as big around as mine are. And I've actually started lifting weights a bit, so...
Well, you're working out, yes, building strength and everything. I'm just not interested in the whole, the crazy end, this crazy stuff some of those guys get to.
Fair enough. Ben was once at a Chinese place where for some reason the vanilla ice cream had no flavoring in it. Whereas all was actually interesting and not bad.
Huh.
So at that point, it's basically just cream. I guess. Huh. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be bad necessarily. It just wouldn't be what I would be expecting.
Right. Looks like the Charm Harp has pretty good odds of procking, as the youngsters would say.
Though I will say, speaking of things that didn't taste like they were like I expected.
Oh. It's like it's immune to petrify.
Yeah, just frozen cream. But yeah, one time Wayne and I went to a Chinese place and tried the sweet and sour chicken without any of the sauce with it. And it literally tasted like nothing. It was
surreal.
Like I would bite into it, and if it wasn't for the fact that it had actually a little bit of texture, I would not have recognized that I had eaten anything.
Right.
Like, it had breading and everything, but it had no taste. I have never experienced anything like it before or since.
Right. Yeah. Whenever there's a scene, we were talking about Persona and everything. There's a scene in Persona 4 where it's like they're making fun of basically how none of the girls except Naoto can cook, and Yukiko makes this omelet and yeah, and Kanji is like, you try to describe it, and it's like, boneless. There's no taste to it at all.
Right.
And it's like, some people that talked about that scene, like, what does that mean? And the giant bomb thing and everything. It's like, I know exactly what that means. I've had that. What is a basilisk if being vulnerable to petrify and make every encounter with a puddle deadly?
Are you saying that I would have to worry about mirrors?
I think what I want to do is grab this thing. Then I think that's a save room, is where that room leads. So let's grab this and then go back. Oh, a heal potion, yay. Is there anything else here? Or is this progress? I think that's going to be progress. Like, going all the way to the left and then down is progress. So hit the previous area, hit the save point, and then finish up. Yeah, I'd forgotten this dungeon isn't actually that long.
Right. Just the Antlion fight is pretty rough, so...
Right. It's rough if you don't know if you don't know the gimmick for it. I need to remember to...
Fine, it was rough for me.
And me too, the first time going through it. But yeah, basically, I think it's actually one of the reasons why they throw so many enemies with counterattacks actually early. Is once you figure out that's what the Antlion is doing, it's not nearly so bad. Oh, Yukiko, John begins to giggle. If all the
You mean
things,
Yukiko?
all the things to kind of hang her hat on, the wrinkle characterization wise, the fact she has a
Uncontrollable giggle fits.
right. And I get what they're doing there. It's like her outward like persona is that she's like perfect and everything. She's actually really awkward and dorky and everything. Say okay.
Except they didn't really pass it off that well.
Except for that, right? Yeah.
Speaking of, though, Persona 5 is in February of next year.
Ooh. Yeah, the guys on one of those streams were talking about that.
Yes.
And, I was looking at Atlas's, because I streamed River City Ransom X yesterday. So when I looked at Atlas's Twitter, I saw that. Their big banner up there is the Persona 5.
Looks 2 years in the making at least.
It looks interesting, gotta give them that.
This thing, it's like, I really am looking forward to it, so... Yeah, you'll have to be prepared, starting in the next year. Sundays will be the day of even more animes.
I was about to ask if you were thinking about streaming it, but of course,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I imagine this will probably end up being a really bad idea, but at least it'll be an interesting one.
And it would be a nice long game to play, too.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Interesting. I didn't realize these guys were here.
What, sandworms and sandpedes?
Well, sandworms. I mean, I remember the sandpedes from... I don't remember they were here either. No, he's charmed, so I'm going to let him hit himself. And then... also, I think they know a tornado, the tornado spell. So I will see if he does that, and then finish him off. Or he could just do nothing. No. I'm going to wait more for you. Oh, okay, he was almost dead anyway. Oh, right, because the sandworms are regular desert enemies, too. Okay, that explains things. So we can keep going. Yeah, we can go through the secret passage here now. Yeah, and those stairs down are progress. Right. So yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to think about who or what the Weepers might have been based on.
They kind of look like they would be...
Yeah.
Honestly, they kind of look like they should be based on ghosts.
I can see
the
that.
long hair, the tails and whatnot. And I guess they could potentially be like a Sylphs or a Ginny or something, but I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact they don't have feet and they're in a Japanese game definitely lends credence to the ghost theory. Right. That's also my favorite things, though. You're dead because your legs kind of trail into vapor.
Of course, in the 4th edition of D&D, that could mean that you're an angel, because why not?
Right. Yeah, turning the angels into just generic servitors of the gods. I guess it's good if you want to kind of start divesting the Judeo-Christian baggage, while at the same time your main villain is still called Asmodeus.
Right.
Kind of strikes me as a little a little odd, but... Oh, was that it? Oh, okay.
Huh.
I guess it's just another way of getting around.
Right.
Let's see. I think that...
Although, really, if they had wanted to do that, they should have actually just gone ahead and just made daemons the generic servitors.
Right.
So at least in that case, you would have the actual baggage to go with it. Oh, well.
Daemons, that's the when your email doesn't get through, right? I don't think people use mail or daemon anymore.
They do. Yahoo does.
Still does? Okay.
Yeah.
Who uses Yahoo anymore?
Some people.
And that all connects back up, so we can just move on. Here we are. Okay, so I'm not sure everybody's topped off, which they are. Edward is going to be pretty much dead weight in this fight, unfortunately.
I do have to say that I am a big fan of a series called Monster Bug Wars. And after that, I immediately, I look at this and an antlion. I'm like, no, don't do it.
Welp.
It's totally tame.
So, okay, you might be wondering the optimal way to win this fight. That's step one. Basically, here's the thing. Antlion, almost all the danger from him comes from counterattacks, as the game helpfully indicates for you. So basically, all you ever want to do is hit him with Cecil, and then hit him with Chocobo for the most damage Iridia can do, and do nothing else. Maximum damage when you hit him only. And if you took the save point like I did, you could probably just win the entire fight on Iridia spamming Chocobo, but it will go faster to have Cecil help out too, and just use potions when he needs to.
Time to make some more orphans. Yes.
Yeah, his counterattacks, when he's not countering, he basically does nothing.
Huh.
Yep. So there's another good example, too, of the teamwork element of this game.
Wait a minute. So, that's what did it for me, because I was attacking with Edward as well, and I had not realized that he can counter anybody.
Right.
Like that one time when Cecil hit it, and it hit Iridia.
Right.
So.
John says the area reminds him of the later area in Secret of Mana with all the rings and in the Desert. There we go.
There you are.
Never played Secret of Mana. I missed out on a lot of those SNES RPGs. Except for ones like this, of course. Yeah, we didn't get our Super Nintendo until I think it was a year before I got this game. I got the game in '97. So yeah, we got the SNES in '96, I think. Oh, then says the game was insanely broken but fun. See, even Cecil forgot about Rosa. Let's go cure Rosa. Oh yeah, her. All right. I think she knows the warp spell, right? Yeah. This will make this part of it go even faster. Also, if you ever get the infamous dungeons you can't teleport out of, a lot of people will remember Final Fantasy IV and the sealed cave. It's like, hey, I don't want to backtrack through all that nonsense again. Oh wait, you have to.
Yep.
Warp still works up until the last floor, but of course, as we're playing the original, we do have that glitch to let us skip the sealed cave, which I might just do if we get that far. Is this even working? I think it goes back to the floors in the order you did them in.
Maybe. Well, keep warping. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Now we're back on floor 1, and this should take us out. Should play Mana and Seiken Densetsu 3, but Evermore not so much, right? That wasn't even part of the same series, was it? Yeah, I saw a guy on Something Awful Up Here recently, and I watched read a couple episodes of that, but it didn't really interest me much at all. Nice aesthetics, though, yeah. And it's like I like the idea of your magic system being alchemy. There's potential there, and you collect items and reagents and use those to activate your powers. That's something you can hang your hat on.
Right.
But and you might be tempted to hit Nemkayan and use the healing urn, but we have a mandatory rest segment coming up.
So you might as well take advantage of it.
Do that, yeah. Kind of tried to play off of... Oh yeah, kind of tried to play off of Chrono Trigger in that respect, yeah. Oh, so many games aped Chrono Trigger. And it was the SNES JRPG, but even still, going back to Kaipo, that makes me realize part of the problem was that, what I bet just give her some aspirin.
No. Hell, you don't even lose it, so at least there's that.
Okay.
Rosa,
you need your veggies. Okay, no.
I'm trying to imagine Cecil brushing the carrot against her. Rosa, vitamin A.
You see some vitamins to help her fatigue. Aw. No, we were just lost in the geographic sense. You know, had to took a photo to the wrong turn to Albuquerque. It is called Buzz. Ven wonders what used means in this case. Do we wave it around? Do we break it? It is gone from the inventory, so I'm guessing, yeah, we like broke it and made her inhale the dust, maybe, or something. And the sand ruby is itself kind of a weird, or could have boiled it into stock or something. John would enjoy watching the two of us play two-player Secret of Mana. That was the best part. But if you do, don't forget to play it together. It is like 10 times better than solo.
Huh.
But it really exacerbates the magic imbalances.
That's something to keep in mind.
Yep.
Lob it off the wall.
I think What If's got it right.
It's true, you could have beamed her with it.
Right. Nature of consumables. Oh, does Mana bogs you down in UI? And does it have an alchemy system like Evermore did then?
Yeah, that's the concern that I would have with playing any of the older RPGs, because a lot of them just aren't very stream-friendly.
Right. Rosa must rest. She's been resting this whole time, and to stay at the inn gives full HP and MP back. Well, what's her excuse? Yeah, it's also interesting, too, how they set up Cecil and Rosa already being in a relationship. Whereas, of course, a lot of JRPGs will set it up with the characters being single and finding each other as the game progresses.
And then I want to protect you.
Yeah. I protect you. I protect you, too. They actually did that in Tales of Symphonia, which is one of the things I really adore about that game.
Speaking of other multiplayer RPGs, yes.
Yeah. They could do a Tales game together sometime. Like Van said, yeah, most stories are about the start of a relationship rather than about them themselves, right?
Yeah, I remember there was actually an article I read that was basically a complaint and aggravation of the fact that, yeah, you have a lot of stories about couples getting married or starting out with that, but not so much afterwards unless there's like some serious problem with it.
First time I ever did this scene, I was tempted to just use hide and see if the monster would eventually,
just give up,
right, or like run out of, or something. But it's kind of a boss sequence. It's immune to everything, and you just have to survive long enough to hit him, I think, 4 times. So Edward can't even get a proper fight because the game doesn't think he'll be able to win.
I do have to disagree a little bit with Ben that this isn't necessarily a random scene.
Well, random in the sense that I don't think ghosts ever appear again unless it's...
Yeah, they do.
Well, they're like the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, crystals are involved in that case.
Magic crystals. I'm just saying this is not the last time a ghost will appear.
Right.
Ghosts!
800 XPs. And the gameplay reason, of course, is to give Edward a nice shot in the arm because he is, hands down, the weakest party member. We're about to get one of the better ones. Well, I guess we're about to get one of the most useful ones if you count Rosa, but I meant the one after her. Geopolitical advice from beyond the grave.
Somehow I like the idea that Anna would have been like, the prime minister in essence.
Oh, yeah.
Because heaven knows Edward is probably not going to make a very good prince.
That about sums it up. What am I supposed to do now? Right. No, but once again, we can tease Edward because he is kind of a loser character and everything, but it's an effective scene. It's like Anna was basically the thing he lived for.
Right.
We can tell he didn't really care about the castle. He didn't really care about being prince and everything. He snuck out to go spend time with her, and now she's gone. So it's like a Nancy Reagan thing, the power behind the throne. I can see that, reading up on how they met and everything. It's a really neat story, the two of them.
Right.
Like, that was when I found out the first time that Ronald Reagan was divorced, and it's of course a lot of Christians, because they look up to Reagan so much, don't like admit that part. It's like, guys, you got to be, you're not worshiping the guy. You can admit that you didn't do everything you wanted him to.
Right. Yeah, like I remember, because our dad is full-on Baptist minister. And he is also a very strong Trump supporter. And there you can kind of feel the tension there. It's like, he can't support the Democrat.
Right.
And not that I would ask him to. But in order to justify that, he has to immediately say, well, I strongly support the Republican candidate.
Right. Even though he doesn't.
Right. So, yeah, there is just... Yeah, that weird feeling of, especially among, more conservative Christian sorts, where there is that willingness to kind of downplay, to put it nicely,
right,
the aspects that they would not allow at all.
Exactly, right.
So.
Oh, Trump. Man, we could be here all day talking about what a mess. What a mess this whole thing is.
Then asked if it was cognitive dissonance. I would not say so much cognitive dissonance, but rather more a sense of trying to gosh, I'm even trying to think of how to put it.
Radia's trying to figure out how to flame people, but she's too innocent. So,
aw. Yeah, I'll wait until after the scene is over. I actually really like this one.
Yeah, it's a bit arbitrary because it's not like we're actually in a snow dungeon or anything. There's just this wall of ice here. But yeah, who cares? It's a plot obstacle. They have a nice cute scene to do it. Rydia has her moment of the people she really looks up to, even though the guy did kill her mom.
Right.
Or need her help, and
and she does provide it.
Yep. Keen is voting for Gandalf this election. Yeah, that's basically it, John. It's like
unfortunately, we're going to have even more obstructionism going on because it can't pass.
Nice. But that's exactly it, John. It's like, yeah, I need to have something I'm for, not someone I'm against. And yeah, I'm not there this time, so I might just vote Gary Johnson or something.
But I think what I'm trying to get at is that it's not so much cognitive dissonance per se, but rather the need to emotionally invest.
Right.
So it's more like a emotional weighing.
Yeah, that's definitely a good.
Or to go back to my usual hobby horse, it's just plain old tribalism.
Yeah.
It's like our guy is that way, so we can excuse those things, whereas that person is part of the other tribe, and therefore we cannot excuse it because it's evil and bad.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Edward has nothing to bring in this fight. Hey, Zane.
Nope, Zane, you missed the Spoony Bard segment. There are no more spoons until much later on.
Much later, yeah. Yeah, now we're talking about how terrible things are in politics this year. Yeah. So actually, we're a bit done with that too. Yeah. So I guess if you want to talk about something, you can. Now, and one thing that the game does really well with these different dungeons, and you can actually come here before you go through the Antlion Cave and actually fight some of these enemies. You can actually only wander around that first part in the first screen, of course, because the ice will block you. But yeah, you can actually fight these guys, and it doesn't change it. It doesn't scale up to your party members. It just the enemies are what they are. It expects you to have these four, and later on the next one going into it, and balances it accordingly. And it makes the game a lot more interesting. And I think too many RPGs nowadays are too merciful. None of that's the right word for it, but they assume that people don't like being frustrated, which is true, and people don't like losing, which is more or less true.
Right. And
try to set things up so that you're never really in danger, and a lot of games do that. And then you get into one like Zane's been playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which like the Shin Megami Tensei games is quite hard in parts, and it's kind of, I'm sure he's not too keen on it sometimes, but I'm like, that actually kind of makes you want to deal with all the J-pop and fan service and actually and actually play it.
Lorax is siding with Keen because he's among the blue tribe. Death to the green tealish people.
If any of you ever want to find out the absurdity of both tribalism and how out of control things can get, read up on early Byzantium, and so people call like the sports wars, and it was like basically it's like people became so obsessed with representatives that they identified with that kind of like became politics, and it was just nuts. People would be killing each other over like what team they identified with, and yeah, it is.
And which team or which sport was this?
I don't recall. Oh, that's true. It might be chariots. Yeah, you might be right.
That makes sense in the hippodrome and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember reading about that one, and like, are you on Team Green? And then I'll kill you.
Right. And Ben's favorite example is an experiment where they got people to form tribes just by having to wear 2 different colors of shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, there's always that need to identify who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And generally speaking, humans can only do that by comparison with others.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get into. It's like, yeah, I mean, but if in absence of anything else, you have to find out what you're not to identify what you are if you don't have anything to rally behind. And yeah, it can be as much as like Shadowrun is great about the dystopian stuff in general. Is great about that. It's like I'm on Team Coke. Okay, you kill everybody on Team Pepsi,
right?
Or whatever. Fill in the blank Mechacorp. It's
right. I think it's called Stuff Mart. It's one of the As Technology things. It's like, yep, Stuff Mart.
Right.
Death to all big box. The big box is your casket.
Right. Lurk disappointed is Red Bone and not Red Skeleton. Ooh, you're going old school. Speaking of old school, on that one. Yeah, I almost said we have out of reflex, because the guy was in Congress for like 50 years. But there was a congressman in Missouri called Ike Skelton.
Oh, yeah.
And when we first, I actually met him one time. And I didn't ask him if he was related to Red, but that's actually what that made me think of. Is I was like 12, 13. And, I only knew the name. Red Skull, didn't know he was a comedian. So I actually kind of thought that, hey, he's a famous person. That's a famous person, right? They have a really weird last names. They have to be.
Surely.
Let's get healed up for the upcoming challenge. Let's see.
Whereas instead of Red Bone, I would have preferred Red Skull personally.
Oh, nice. But yeah, this is why I did my team the way I did a little ways back, because we would be ending up with 2 frontliners and 3 back rank. So I just went ahead and already had the formation ready for when Yang joins up, or Yang as they were calling him in the DS version. They gave Kane the deepest voice imaginable. So. We get to watch Yang kick some weird here. Literally kick, in that case. He always, I believe he always kicks, punches one, and then kicks the other 2. Like, if he just kicked them, he would have been a little more efficient. Yang is the best. He's a little one-dimensional without his special skills, but I do like him. If it was more like the Final Fantasy V monks with counterattack and everything, it would have been.
Oh yeah,
he's a Pharaoh of this game. Are you going Tails reference on that one? Sabin was great too, yeah.
Of course, I just recently saw the Mamba. Yes. But I just recently watched a documentary about the actual Shaolin monks. It's like, Yang, a little downplaying it, really.
Right. Let's see. She can't really do much in this phase. I'm just going to save her MP.
Yeah.
Really, we just need to have Yang and Cecil do the work here. Here's the thing. He starts off with a Fire Claw. You actually want to take that off for this fight.
Yeah, I imagine that would not be a good idea against a bomb.
And you'd be wondering, like, hey, why isn't Yang doing as much damage as he probably should be?
Oh, that's fun.
He's going to need some help. Edward isn't bad as an item mule for this part, but the problem is that...
You should probably have Rosa be doing the healing, huh?
That's right. I don't really need Rydia's. I don't need to consider Rydia's MP that badly.
Well, fair enough, I guess. I was just thinking that you might need to.
Right. Let's see, was that enough to do it? No. Nice. I don't think it actually matters much, but let's see. And we are at...
Slurry, it's a morning, it's an evening. No, it's stream time.
It's a me, Mario. A cure doesn't do much if you spread them among all 4 party members.
All 5? I'm still part of the team.
Alright, I think it's Chocobo time.
You can't have pizza anytime, John. Of course, I will never stop remembering, and Wayne remembers this too, because we would often have either the recording or the actual programming would cut in at the very start of it. So it'd just start with, in the morning!
At a certain amount of time, the mom bomb will explode, so we just want to make sure that Edward is out, and everybody else is defending. As many people are defending as possible, anyway.
It is exploding.
And Cecil has the most HP and the most defense, so we'll let him take it on the chin. That wasn't too bad.
That wasn't.
You know, say now that we are in a full team here. You know what? I'm starting to think that I might want to. No, actually, let's not use kick. This is not going to be worth the risk. But when I know we can pick off most of them one at a time, would be a little safer.
Slurry has it. That's a great tagline. It's a morning. It's evening. No, it's a stream time with Brohop Gamers.
Yes. Well, that doesn't heal much at all. So we have to give Yang a dedicated cure. Let's see, and then Yang's attacking this one. So we'll have...
But the cure only affects the plague doctor who uses it.
I think that should do it in one. Yeah. Oh right, I should be focusing on the ones in the front row first. Yeah. So yeah, this I probably would have already been halfway done by now if I'd actually if my head screwed on right. Yeah, you want the physical attackers to.
If you want physical attackers up, no.
But no, she can kill them in one. So the two of them team up on this one. She'll kill about the other one, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Well, I was saying she could have used it against the one in the back.
Yeah, but the regular bombs are harmless. I mean, Cecil killed them in one hit.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Well, not harmless, but not as dangerous. And this might be the phase you take the fire claws off for. Let's see. Oops. Rip. Oh,
that didn't actually do much damage at all.
I wonder if this is one of those games where the damage that the bombs do is based on.
Should you just try to ice and kill it?
Oh, yeah. We'll give it a try. The damage they do is based on the HP they have remaining. That might be the case.
Could be.
Nope. So I'm guessing they actually don't have any weaknesses. Well, they probably have resistance to everything, and try to make you use Yang more.
That could be. In that case, using Fireclaw would still not be a good idea. So.
Right. Yeah, Fireclaw doesn't seem to be that amazing. I believe that there's some weird math with Yang and his claws in the original version. I think it's like if you wanted to either use neither or two, I think is how that worked. There was some weird glitch if you only had one equipped. Or I might be thinking the other way around. Yep. And here's one thing I really like about Final Fantasy IV. Is that usually the bad guys will be omnipotent until the end game. It's like they just sweep every piece off the board, and there's no real resistance to them. So the hero gets a plucky band of misfits together and overthrows them in the last hour or two.
Right.
Whereas in Final Fantasy IV, they really set it up. Like, Golbez is powerful. He is bad news. He has the strongest military to work with. But he's not omnipotent. He's not going to do a fight head-on with Fabel until he's sure that they're going to win. So he basically ambushes their entire force out with monsters while the king is away, and then attacks. He doesn't even want to fight Yang. He would much rather take out the castle while he's away. But he knows that even if he does get back, there won't be enough left to give any resistance to it. And yeah, it's set up really well. And likewise with the dwarves and everything. if he really was Sauron, he'd be showing up, leading the charge head on.
Well, if he was Sauron, he wouldn't be leading any charge.
Well, yeah. Well, but from the backstory,
right.
With Grant and all that fun stuff. And but yeah, he can't do that. He has to fight them with the tanks versus airships, and when that doesn't work, he actually retreats. And sneaks in. It's really well done. At least I think so. I like stuff like that.
I want to put his claw back on him though.
I do.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that sound is only one hit going through instead of potentially two. But it still did the damage you'd expect. So.
I'm saying if you only have one claw, he only attacks once.
Right. Yeah, in that case, let's do a quick check here. So Yang is 2 times 25, 80% chance. And then... Okay. There's still 25. And still 2. Oh, but much less accurate. Okay. So if for no other reason, then we'll leave him with his claw. Just to keep his hit rate up. Interesting. I didn't realize that'd be much of a factor. Edge wishes he was tough enough to beat enemies up with his bare hands like that. Alright. We're on our way to Fabel. It is a fabulous place. We have quite the winding road to get there, though. Here we go. These aren't the eagles I was thinking of. But yeah, the cockatrices cockatrices are flying enemies, which means that if we had Kane here, it would be super effective against them. In the later versions of the game, they'll actually flip enemies horizontally to indicate that they're charmed, which is an effect I really like. Also, we had arrows. Arrows are super effective against flying enemies. Can't quite do it in one, though.
But considering how little attack power Rosa has, that's still pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We're doing more damage. I want to see the
gargoyle actually do something.
Yeah. Nice. And anything will do to finish him off at that point, so...
There we go.
And I just realized I hadn't healed up my team after the Mom Bomb fight, so let's go take care of that. I might as well do it with Rosa, since... Okay.
I guess it's true that you don't really need to use the tent.
Yeah. No, her MP is only going to be good for getting us there. So that... And... Alright, that should do.